Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo. Ooh.
Boo, boo, boo.
Hey.
Hi guys, welcome to the I'm your host Asha every day, and
Sorry, go on.
Hi,
guys. Hi guys, you're listening to the £3.30 podcast. I'm your host Asha. She's not our host, and I am Reem every time.
And I am Sana. No.
Oh. How are you guys doing? Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, right, alhamdulillah and that.
Yeah.
How are you, Sana?
I'm good, man. Just chilling out here in Sheffield. We're over Skype again.
We're so fake.
You know-
Everyone's sick.
You know what's annoying, Wallah? You know what's annoying? We've been together for about 2 weeks, and we didn't think to sit down and do a proper podcast after podcast.
Can I tell you what I think it is though? Real talk. I think we
What?
just want to savor every moment.
Moira.
Every moment with each other, and
Yeah, that's true, man.
and play Jackaroo. And I just think that because we don't get to see each other enough, it's not by force, you know. Like if we can do it, then we can. If we can't, then it's not. It's just what it is, man.
And I feel like our listeners understand, man. Like I think they do get it. So I feel like we're
they
calm.
know we're gas.
Imagine they're like, not gonna lie, yeah, this is a bit annoying because obviously you want consistency, like on the podcast. Be like, what?
I think people are a bit like, what's going on? This is the second time.
But they get it.
Was it Is this the second week in a row?
Yeah.
Raw.
It's
See,
okay.
this is
Then,
what
'cause once you
happens.
go back and be
This
back
is
to
what
normal,
happens
it's
when
okay.
you're-
It's okay. Everybody say yeah.
Yeah. And also Love Island's done, so
Alhamdulillah.
No motives.
Anyway, so how's your week, guys?
yeah, go on. Yeah, my week's been good.
Joking,
It's a shit joke.
Reem is so fucking annoying. I don't think anyone actually understands how much we hate each other.
Nah, it's all love, man.
Obviously, it's all love.
You-
Obviously, we just
you
love
are
to hate
annoying.
each other.
Me. She's annoying.
We love to hate
You
each
are
other.
so annoying, Sham.
She's literally
Are
annoying.
you joking? Are you actually joking?
Nah,
No, you're
no,
literally
no,
annoying.
no.
I think you know it.
Actually not.
I know I'm annoying, but Sana's calling me annoying. Sana of all
Yes.
people is calling me annoying.
Yes, because me and you for the first time have had serious beef this past week or so.
When?
Can you guys explain the
What do you
serious
when?
beef?
Yeah, I actually didn't understand. When did this happen?
What?
She's
Over
weeping.
Jackaroo, fam? You're actually annoying.
Oh, I remember
You are so annoying that you got me.
She was actually blatantly angry with me. I was like,
No.
Fucking
Listen. You are so annoying that you got me heated up. That's
'Cause you
a
cheated.
big deal. I can't lie.
do you know what it is? Yeah, I think I say that you cheat because we play on different
Oh my
rules.
god.
Reem, in it. The other day, so apart from that time, yeah, there was another time where we must have been playing, and Sana, we agreed, yeah, if you touch the marble and you move it, yeah,
Are we really gonna do a podcast on this?
if you touch
Like
the
we don't
marble
discuss it every
and
day.
you move the marble, yeah, you have to commit, you have to follow through. You can't now retract your movements, yeah. So they go, she moved her marble twice, and she goes, actually no, moved it back, moved another one. I was like,
You're
eh,
a prick.
I looked at
Listen.
Reem, and then Sana with her heart went, I didn't move it.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
As if
me.
she didn't just do it in front of my own eyes. Yeah. I looked
Listen.
at me, I was baffled. Yeah. On top of that, she has the audacity to be like, why are you not cheating for? Oh, I'm done.
Excuse me. You are a self-confessed cheater. Like you tell
Yeah,
me when we're not
I
playing Jackaroo,
cheat.
you tell
I
me
cheat. I
you
do.
confess all your sins.
I'm
So
not
I don't know why
denying
you're.
it, I cheat. What about you?
There you go. We have it live on the £3.30 podcast. Asha Everyday is a cheat, self-confessed. This is her
Listen,
admittance.
if there's a way for me to get a winning hand, yeah, I will do it.
Nah, you're a
if there's a
prick.
way for me to, if you men are not paying attention and giving me leeway, then yeah, of course I will do it. I only,
you know what's
I only
so
cheat when
annoying about you?
when I'm about to lose. Then I'll cheat.
Which
Your
is
husband does the same
always-
thing. I don't understand. I was about to win. Fedra messed up all the marbles. He threw them all on the floor.
Feder's a different story. That's a whole nother league. There's like Federal League, and then there's like minor. Everything after him is not a big deal, but he is something different.
That's where I get it from. From Sensei, fam. The teacher taught us this.
Anyway, fucking Jackaroo is just taking over our lives. It's
It really
really
has,
sad.
literally.
Speaking of Jackaroo, I got a notification from the app and I was like, what's this? I
Eid
opened
Mubarak.
it. Eid Mubarak. They gave me 1,787 coins. I was like, eh?
I didn't get any
Where's
of
mine?
that.
Quick, boy.
Innit?
They gave me...
Oh yeah,
you
Eid
get
Mubarak,
daily-
everyone.
Eid Mubarak, yeah. Eid Mubarak, guys.
Wow. Going straight into Jack's. This is our life. That's just a representation of how we live in right now.
Is Sana still here?
Yeah, see, no.
I'm still here, yeah.
So when are you moving back to the UK?
Hold on, is that a joke because I'm in Sheffield, or are you saying when you're actually moving back to the UK?
It was a joke.
It was a
Joke.
what?
No, I mean like as in when you're leaving Doha and coming.
Right.
Please, thank you.
Basically, yeah. Listen, this is our long-term plan. We're not moving until the 2022 World Cup, and because I think that would just be a silly move, if I'm being completely honest. There's no way I can leave.
So you're
Qatar
staying
when
for the
there's-
World Cup?
Okay, so why don't you do
Of
this?
course
Yeah?
we
Why
are.
don't you guys come back? Yeah, and rent
And
out
go
your
back.
apartment in Doha. You've got Mula coming through from there. You've got Mula coming through from work. Yeah,
I'm gonna
Calm.
let you finish.
Done.
Go on.
Hmm?
Who said we own an apartment in
Yes,
Qatar?
alright.
Are you
You
mad?
You can just rent it out.
Say
You
it.
just, I'm sure you can find someone to have
What do
a
you mean
deal
we
to
rent it out? We are paying money to be in
They're
that
renting it out.
apartment.
Yeah, this is what I'm
Exactly.
saying. This is what I'm saying. Yeah,
They understand how property works.
obviously, did she just ask me if I understand how property works? Obviously, you find some of your mates. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking of moving up, but they don't really want to commit for 6 months at least. You know them ones. Done. And then it's still under your name. They give you the money and you pay the rent. But it's like
Are
you're
you
renting
mad?
it out. Is that illegal or saying?
It's called what's it called? It's called something.
Don't even know what it's called.
What the hell is it called?
Do you even know property?
You're a prick.
They've started.
I miss you. Beg you
I miss
come
you
back.
too, man. I'm coming back on Wednesday, inshallah. No, Tuesday evening, probably.
Is it?
Monopoly or Jackaroo?
Yeah. I think we should like just chill without Jackaroo for a night or two.
Yeah, we can give it a go. You know how the night's gonna go. We're all gonna
Let's
sit
try.
there. We're all I can already see it playing out the back of my head. Yeah, back of my head. I can already see it playing out. Yeah, we're all gonna be sat there. Yeah, at Sana's house because obviously where else would we be? Sana's house. Mama's made karak. Yeah, and we're all sat in the living room. Yeah, rewatching Sana's wedding video, bored out of our minds. Yeah, and we all just give it. You know that
the
eye
17th
emoji with
time.
the eyes. Yeah. And then Sana will be like, just go to the toilet real quickly, yeah? And she'll come back with the Jackaroo board. We just know this is going to happen.
That's
Sana,
true,
it's
that's
going to
true.
be Sana that brings out the Jackaroo board. How about that?
It'll definitely be Fajr, 100%.
I thought
Yeah, same. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be so bored. Alright, calm then. Link up on Tuesday, yeah?
Is Sheffield cold?
Excuse me?
I said, is it cold?
No, it's alright actually. It's quite nice.
Is it like how
And
it is
bright.
here in London?
To be honest, the last time I was in London on Thursday, it was a bit shit. if I
Like
remember
windy and
correctly.
shit.
Yeah, no, it's nice here. It's nice. It's been bright all day. No wind, no
That's nice.
wind, no wind, and no wind. And no rain.
Did you guys, you guys didn't experience the wind then? When was that the windy day? Was it Saturday,
Saturday,
innit?
yesterday, bruv. Trees get just
All I can hear is
branches. There are branches everywhere.
just
What?
like,
My
what?
hair was just getting stuck in my eyelashes.
just everywhere. Like,
Did you just whistle?
ASMR.
She did,
I
yeah.
tried to. By the way,
Aw.
guys, I can't whistle, so these lot try to take the piss out of my life.
Cute.
I know, guys. What's happening? These?
Yeah,
What's
what's going on?
crack-a-lacking?
What's? I feel like I've been really, really away from the world the last few weeks.
Same.
Do you feel the same?
Do you know what? Do you know how far away from the world I've been, yeah? My mum showed me a video and she was like, Asha, look at this. And I was like, what's going on? And she was like, this is what's happening at the moment there's like a small town called Morogoro in Tanzania. And she was, and it was literally, normally, like, I'm not going to lie, I think as a journalist, I've become desensitized to a lot of things, yeah? So normally I can hack most things, yeah? This I couldn't hack. I was just like, nah. I ain't got the stomach for it. And I think it's because I haven't been watching the news or been at work for this whole week. So then I was just looking at the video that she sent me and she was like, it was about 100 people ciphering oil from like a tank that had, there was like a lorry had like basically broken down or it had crashed somewhere and the tank that it was carrying bare like petrol, did I say oil? I think it was carrying bare petrol and it had like basically spilled out onto the road. So what normally happens is when you live in like rural areas or areas where it's really, really poor and you don't have that much money and you see an opportunity like that, everyone came with like their water cannons and shit like that to go and collect the petrol, which is what normally happens, even though it's dumb, like it's dumb dangerous. Yeah, like it's actually so dangerous.
Oh no.
So my mum was showing me the video. She goes, "You see all these people?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What are they doing, mum?" And it was literally like just streams and streams of people. And the majority of the people that were there were like, they call them boda boda drivers. Boda boda is literally just like someone that like rides a motorbike. Yeah, it's like, you know, the motorbike taxis. And she goes, majority of the people that I hear are like all people that ride boda bodas. And then she goes, they all burnt. She goes, the tank basically like blew up and they all died.
Oh my God.
I was like, what? And she goes, let me show you the videos. Like, no, you know the ones where aunties bare spread videos on WhatsApp. Let me show you like this. So then in the end, I was just scrolling on Twitter. I've been back on Twitter today, and I just saw the video, and it was so mad. And like, even the guy that was filming the video, because you couldn't really see. I saw like maybe 2 bodies, and they'd been completely burnt. Like, you know them when your clothes have been burnt off of your skin. You know them ones, and you're fully naked, lying down on the floor. People are carrying you. People are like struck. They can't even walk because their nerves have been like burnt off. Like they can't walk, nothing, because they're fully burnt. Like, it's disgusting. There was a guy that was filming them, and he was saying in Swahili, "Watu wanaungua," like repeating it over and over again. And I guess it's because he was doing it because he was in so much shock. Watu wanaungua means people are burning, yeah. And then that video got put up on Twitter, and then someone quote tweeted it and being like, look at this fool recording them saying people are burning, instead of going to offer something. Because if you can't offer help, don't film people in that state, and like share this video. It's disgusting. Have a bit of sympathy for the families who have just lost like loved ones in a horrific accident. And it's true, and it's like, is this where we've come to, like, as a society, where even my mom's showing me videos of like, it's like, because it's not just my mom, it's bare moms that do it. Like, if like, there was a video that got set, because when at work we sometimes get sent videos from like scenes of like accidents, or like anything that's basically newsworthy. People send us videos. I saw a video of someone who had an acid attack happen to them. The acid was thrown into their car, and they were coming out, and they were completely burnt everywhere, and it's too graphic for us to share. One. Yeah, I saw a video of someone who was lying down on the floor. Paramedics are surrounding them. Police hadn't even managed to get there yet to cordon off the area, and people are filming someone dying on the floor with his finger up, being like saying his shahada. Like, his heart is like, his whole entire heart, like his entire like stomach is out for everyone to see. You know the ones where it's like he's just drenched in blood, his eyes are rolling back. Why do you need to film stuff like that and then to share it? I feel like if you're a journalist, if you work with like the public sector, if you're used to seeing things that are like morbid and like macabre and like graphic and shit like that, I can understand you being like desensitized to it. But if you're an everyday person, it doesn't make sense for me for you to be that desensitized and have no, like, your heart isn't, no humanity in not sharing these videos. It just doesn't make sense to me, wallah. But no, so that happened, and like obviously it's barely got any news coverage. Apparently like 70 people died, 100 others injured. It was, I think I saw it on like Sky News and BBC, like all the major ones that do international news, but not any like real coverage for anyone to give a shit about, because obviously it's a small town in Tanzania and people don't give a shit about Africans, isn't it? So there you go. And that's my rant for today.
I feel like what you're saying about filming things is true. Like, I agree with it, but I think in terms of what the guy was saying, I think it's like,
shock.
He should be given a little bit of slack, because it's like, if we, God forbid, had to experience that, would be part of it. It's not like everyone would just be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what to do in this situation.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
You just think differently when those things happen. So I think it's easy out from from the outsider's perspective to look in and be like, oh, that's wrong.
Yeah, but also true. If these videos weren't recorded, we really wouldn't be able to get a picture of what's actually happened.
Right, exactly. And obviously it's not nice, and I understand what you mean about honouring those who have died and those who have been injured in it. Like, it's not an easy thing for it to be circulated, but at the same time it does raise a lot of awareness, and we're in like a really visual time where people reading about something is different to seeing it. And it does make you a bit more aware of dangers of certain things and stuff, even though the only
thing I have a problem with, sorry to cut you off, the only thing I have a problem with is when there's like a double standard set by the media 100%. Or by social media. So who are we allowed to show? Like, for example, obviously the war in Yemen has been going on for like 4 years, and I see pictures every single day of dead Yemeni kids, every single day without fail. Every single day, But and I think it's become like normalized, and you know it's okay almost to see that. But if there was an attack, and you know there have been attacks in the UK or in America or whatever, any sort of attacks whatsoever, it's impossible for you to find a picture of the victims laying dead on the floor. And I think there's a huge double standards that I just do not like.
Yeah.
But I'm also not sure really who sets that standard, because because at the same time I understand that it's, you know, it's Yemenis on the ground in Yemen that are taking those photos and uploading them. But then you know, I don't know, it's just a bit confusing.
It might just be
to me.
media laws in the UK where it's like you can't show certain pictures because they're graphic. But then again, if it's like, oh, I don't know, like that still doesn't make sense.
No, because I remember there was something years ago that happened in Bangladesh. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was. Was there like an explosion or like some sort of fire or something? Would you say,
remember, to be honest? I can't remember.
But do you know what I'm talking about? And they were on British press, they were showing videos and footage from it, and people were saying, how come that you'd never show anything like that if it was British people involved? The most kind of graphic we have, or I remember seeing, is from the 7/7 bombings. And even in that situation, you saw the one with the woman where they put like the burn mask on her face. That's all I remember seeing from that.
I remember seeing any of it, to be honest.
I remember that. Because in my head, I was bare dumb. I thought that was her face. I was like, oh my God, it's falling off. Mum was like, no, it's a mask, mate.
I'm probably
But also
that's a good question,
more,
Sana, wallah.
Also more recently, you know, with the image of the refugee baby Aylan Kurdi, who was his picture went viral because he was you know, slumped on a beach. That was taken by press across the world. You know, they all showed that.
Yeah.
Was that what photographer was that?
I'm not sure who the photographer was, but I know 100% that nearly every single, well, probably every single platform.
And it goes back to, sorry, go on, Sana.
No, that was it. Like they all showed that image. So what? And this guy, you know, he was a small baby that was dead on a beach. So what makes it okay for you to see that and not a little white kid from America or from the UK?
I remember a couple of podcasts ago, or it might have been the first one, where you said, where we were basically discussing how frustrating it is for a historic moment or a tragedy or something that is like horrendous being trivialized into one striking picture. And I think that's what it is. It's like problems abroad when it's an international crisis. The press and the media in particular are always looking for that one iconic photo to use. So it happened in Sudan with the girl that was on top of the car. It happened in Syria with the little boy who had his face down on the beach. It's happened so many times in Syria. Even the boy that was in the ambulance with the blacked out face and and he was bloodied. And it's happening again and again and again, where it's like the press are just looking for that one moment because they're like, it's almost as if it's I don't know what the word actually.
To be honest, like I don't think like you use the word trivialized. Yeah, I don't think it trivializes the matter. In fact, I think it would be the opposite.
Because think about what was happening in Sudan at the time. Yeah, even though they were fairly peaceful protests, what people were protesting against was so what was it, like rising prices in like bread, food and stuff like that, and like so it was like and also like, and then it turned into like mistreatment, blah blah blah. And even after, when it became really really violent, people were still using that picture of the girl on top of the car. And it's kind of like, because ask anybody who knows about what was happening in Sudan, ask them to name 3 things that protesters were protesting about. I bet you they can't tell you, but they'll be like, but I saw that photo, you know, or like like
but is that a bad thing though? I don't see, like
the young people are really fighting back against what? Ask me, tell me who the president of Sudan is. Tell me. They can't tell you because it's like, I'm telling you, it's been trivialized. Whereas if anything happens in the UK, no one's looking for that one picture. It's being talked about on every single TV program. It's being talked about everywhere because it's a topic. And I get it, it's because obviously we're in the country, and I'm sure whatever happens in Sudan and the local press there will definitely do like extensive reporting 100%. About it. Sometimes they don't have that luxury because they're being controlled by the government, and if they do speak out, and we've seen it time and time again. Somalia is the perfect example of how journalists are being mistreated there. I think Somalia is one of the worst places to be a journalist, because either you report about al-Shabaab in a positive way or you die, or you report about the government in a positive way or you die. There's no like way to win. Saudi Arabia is one of those countries as well where it's like it's the worst place to be anything.
All of our countries,
place to be anything.
Iraq, Yemen, Syria, all of them.
Yeah, so it's like, so it's different, and I get that it's difficult, but I do think it is like it's like almost like it is. That is the word, trivializing. It is trivializing.
But I think it's the point you make is interesting about the fact that like we don't know the details and stuff, because if you ask anyone out of the UK what's going on with Brexit, what? If you ask anyone in the UK, like everyone,
I don't know what's going on with Brexit.
Boy, do you know what I mean? And not that I'm not trying to compare it, but I'm just saying, like, as in, it's a big thing that's
it makes sense.
That's going to shape the rest of the country for however long. Like, it's a massive change.
I feel like even people in the cabinet don't even know what's going on with Brexit.
No one knows. So I think there is a part of it which is about the fact that we're here, and also like as journalists, you lot are, and what you're doing now is that you lot are probably spread quite thinly. Like, you're made to cover like little bits of every part of the world. You know them ones. It's not like you're like specific this one country or this one.
There are some journalists that like Sana does like a weekly report for Yemen.
Yeah, but like as in your focus isn't just purely Yemen. Like you're looking and you're covering other things as well.
Sana, do you predominantly do Middle East and Northern Africa, or is it international?
No, predominantly Middle East and North Africa, unless it's like anything that is linked to Muslims in the West, so like Islamophobia or attacks and stuff like that.
That's a big job. Do you know what I mean?
That is a big job.
It's like you could write so much every day about everything.
Every minute there's something that's news happening.
Yeah, man. It's always different as well. Like, I mean, on some level, it's always the same shit. It's always the same topics, you know, attacks, bombs, war, conflict, all of that stuff. It's all the same topics, but every single day there's something different going on. Like, you never ever run out of stories.
Both of you actually covering and looking at these things which are so like heavy and so well, you know, like how so many people avoid the news. People are like, I don't read the news, I don't watch the news, because
you become desensitized to
like
it. How
how do you manage that? Because I don't look at you two as desensitized.
Yeah, you still have empathy, but I'm so sorry, Sana. But for me, when I proper cut her off, you know,
that's cool.
when it hits 4 p.m, I'm out. I completely I shut out completely, and I think obviously that's really bad, because obviously as a journalist I'm supposed to be switched on at all times, which is what they expect it to be like. But for me and my own,
you kind of got to look after yourself as well.
That's what I'm saying. So for me it's like like sometimes I just want to see a picture of a dog. Like, you know that, and
sometimes I just want to watch Love Island.
Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes there was one video that I sent to Reem, and Reem thought I was dumb. Yeah, I was like, look at this dog copying pictures that he did before, and blah, blah, blah. And she was looking at me, she's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, and it made me so happy. And like, there has to be balance. But for me, once I leave that building, the moment I call Reem straight away, hey, yo, Sham, what are you telling me? Quick, because I can't be asked to be thinking about anything or carrying anything with me, even though sometimes it does. I think to this day, I still think about the guy that was burnt alive by ISIS. That video that came. Did you guys see that? Sana, did you see that video?
Yeah.
I still
I've seen
have
all the ISIS videos.
It's like I play it back in my mind vividly. If someone mentions it, I can see it happening from the beginning of that video to the very end. That's something that I've never forgotten. Some things do stick with you, and it is, Even when I was working at the BBC and I really wanted to work in conflict areas, at one point I really, really wanted to. And I was going to, they wanted to put me on a training course. And I think in the end I just backed out. I was like, I'm not made for this shit, because I know I'm going to come back with PTSD and shit, They wanted to put me on a training course just in case I get kidnapped.
Bye.
Or I get captured by some sort of like militia group, what to do in it, how to stay alive, like survival tactics, and then also like how to basically keep your brain alive and not go crazy, basically. Like, so in that moment I was like, I ain't cut out for that shit. Let me just stick to London, fam. It's long.
Sana, what about you?
It is long. I don't know. I think for me it's a bit different. Like you were saying, you leave the building and you shut down. I don't feel like I can do that, because
Sana doesn't. Sana's always around.
No, because the work I do is very much linked to where I'm from, you know. So if I'm reporting on Yemen all day long, it's hard for me to come home and switch off, because like in the last few days there's been like a war that kicked off in Aden itself, like, and that's my home city. That's where my family is. That's where I visit every single time. I was there 4 months ago, you know. So for me to report on Yemen, report on Aden during the day, and then come home and expect not to look at the news or not to check on my family is just not gonna happen. So I think it kind of just depends on like what I'm working on at that time. So for the most part of, you know, the time that I've been a journalist, I can switch off. I have been desensitized to everything. So, you know, when there's an ISIS video, I can watch it and I won't be affected at all by it. Like, obviously it's disgusting to watch and it's tragic, but I'm not affected like that by it. So when I have to report on these things, like, I don't know, I just disconnect from myself personally from these stories. But when the war in Yemen happened, it was a completely different thing. Like, for me, it was so personal, because I was dealing with it at work and I was also dealing with it at home, and that's why I kind of burnt out. And it was at that point where I stopped being very active on social media or in protests or anything like that. I stopped organizing and mobilizing. I stopped all of that, and I think that's where I think I mentioned this before, but this is where my book came from, because I shut myself down on social media and I stopped talking about Yemen. I started writing privately, and eventually I just turned it all into a book. But yeah, like it's a whole experience. I can't lie, because with you, Shams, you deal with more, I don't know, I correct me if I'm wrong, but you deal with more like UK Western type news, London.
Yeah. So it's predominantly we will cover like the UK and US, and then weird stories out of India. Like, you know, the ones where it's like,
what?
This baby was born in India with 3 legs. You know, the ones in this village in Pradesh somewhere. Like, just, you know, that shit that white people just find it bare funny. Like,
those
like, we always
clickbait
knew
stories.
this is what happens when you marry your cousin. Like, you know, the ones where it's like,
I'm so dead. Stop it.
it's dead. It's
You're an
dead. I remember
idiot.
the other day, I tried. There was one time, when I first started, you know, there was where it's rude to say, but you know, when you come from the BBC and you're reporting this shit on a regular basis, international news that actually has meaning, with a mixture of like funny stories as well, like trending shit on Twitter, that kind of stuff, like trivial stories, like more lighthearted stories. And then you go into a setting like that where it's like, oh, it's just dead. So then when I first started, I used to like pitch bare serious stories, because that was just always my tone as a journalist. And then the other day I pitched a story where it was like a tiger walked into an Airbnb in India to run away from the floods. You know them ones?
Shit has changed.
It's like you have to just. I sat there and I had to just pre myself. I was just like, this is where it's come to, you know. Like, it's funny, but like, and obviously like, the reason why I got into social media, like journalism, is because times are changing, man. Like, you have to just go with the flow, and you have to be a multimedia journalist, and you have to be flexible. You have to have experience in a lot of things. So for me, it's more about investment into my own skill set. But there comes a time, fam, where it's just, you have to pre yourself, like, what kind of impact do you want to leave in the world? You really want people to be creasing about this, as opposed to actually talking about things that actually matter. But I guess that's a challenge for me, and it's always been a challenge for me. How do I present news that's not necessarily newsworthy or necessarily interesting to the masses in a way that people will be interested? And the way to do that will be social media. And I think that's always been my mission. I'm still figuring it out, inshallah. But it's long.
It's a long thing.
It's a long thing. No,
I would be an awful journalist. I can't write for shit.
I don't really write, to be honest.
I'd be pants.
You'd be
Can I
really
just
good, actually.
Can I just say, we just got a message on our £3.30. Please follow us on Instagram. Message. Someone is saying, are you guys still going to do your meet and greet?
I replied to that already.
Oh shit. Okay.
Saying what? When is the meet and greet? Let's announce it today.
Okay, no, the point is Sana's going next week.
When next week?
Yeah, we can hook something up.
Should we do it on this? I've got a wedding on Saturday.
On Saturday 17th.
What time?
Okay, so I said, I don't know if we have time. Sana's going next week. We'll figure it out and let you know. Shout out you
What
know who
about-
you are. She's very
What
sweet.
What about the Friday evening or
Is
the Sunday?
that a favorite vegan?
No, it's not our favourite vegan. It's someone else. What about what?
Sunday is good for me.
Sunday
Sunday's
might
good for me
work,
as well.
yeah? What's that, the 18th, isn't it?
18th, yep.
Sunday the 18th. Watch it be 2 people. Nathan and
That's,
Frederick.
that's so calm. To be honest with you, I don't think that many people will turn up anyways, but I think I'd prefer that. We'll just hit up Nando's
Just
and
be
chill.
cute.
Yeah.
It'll be nice,
Nando's,
yeah.
not too much. Sit in the park.
But I don't have money. You know the ones. It's
No, I
only
think
the 11th
park,
of the
park
month.
thing is best.
£3.30 vibes, yeah? No, today I got hit with £3.30 vibes. Today, big time.
Well, I got hit with less than minus £3.30.
But it's actually so mad. So I was in Tesco, and you know the ones where I didn't actually expect for Reem to even say that she wants anything.
No. Rewind. I call her. No. Listen. I go, where are you? She goes, Tesco. What do you want? I said, no, I don't want anything. She goes, no, go on. What do you want? And I was like, oh, she's like,
Idiot.
trust me, it's cool. So I said a Solero, yeah.
You know the ones where I was like, you fucking have to say.
What was I
something.
hit with? My girl said, oh, I don't really have funds for that right now.
No. I said that's out my
prick.
budget.
That's out my budget. I was like,
Some
well,
empty invite.
I said, well, what? I said, what did you expect? She goes, I don't know, like a 50p can of Coke.
This is living lavish, you know, asking me for a mango Solero. What?
These times last week, I was like, what do you want? You were like, a Coke and a Solero? When
And
I want a
popcorn.
Solero and popcorn, when I want a Solero, it's a problem.
When you want a Solero, it's
I ain't got no floos. How can you do that to me?
Mafi Falus, Habibi. That's a Habibi.
I had to Monzo her £5.
Habibi,
I said, I beg you, just get me the fucking Solero. She goes, no, it's cool. I said, I want the Solero, bruv.
Never cut this out.
He's not going to cut this out, you know that,
Because you
innit?
think it's a joke. Nathan, I beg you cut this out.
Is
I
that
don't
another-
know what to do.
Why?
Why?
I want to keep up my appearances on social media as
Are
living
you
lavish.
mad?
Who cares about social media, bruv? Fuck
Living
social
lavish.
media.
I'm joking, by the way, but I'm also not.
Don't
Don't you think it's funny how young people don't talk about money? Do you think it's weird? Because I was watching.
Wait, what do you mean young people don't talk about money?
So I was listening to a podcast. I didn't listen to it thoroughly and like properly and with all my attention. So I was doing my makeup, yeah. But there was a guy that was there, and he does like
Was it the one I suggested?
no, sorry. There was a guy that was there. He was doing I think he's like a financial consultant for a lot of like big boy clients, yeah, as in people who've got bare money. So he tells them where to invest their money, what they can afford, what they can't afford, and he was talking about how they have like, you know, like how some of us will, not all of us, but some of us will have like an Excel sheet, yeah, an Excel doc where it's literally just like how much money is coming in, how much, like people do it on their Monzo fam, yeah, how much money is coming in, how much money you're putting aside for travel, food, entertainment, living life, shopping, whatever it is, yeah. And then how much money you're saving, how much money you have at the end of the month to play around with, how
End
much
of
money
month.
just so you know the Monzo, I don't even make it to the end of the month. fam.
End of month where?
So then it's like so on a basic level you would have
Son, I felt that one.
so I felt that deep.
Crazy.
So on a basic level you'd have very basic sort of categories. So he was talking about how on like some of their clients they have like they have projections in 5 years time. I'll be able to afford this house if I do this. Or if I invest my money into this, I'd have this amount of money and I can do so. They think like way ahead, yeah. Whereas for us, we think paycheck to paycheck, which is deep, right?
Yeah.
But when he was talking, he was like, the young people don't talk about money. The only people you hear talking about money are rappers. He goes, rappers on I got bills. You know that shit, I got money for this, I got money for that.
So I know you don't
money,
listen to
money,
rap. I got bills.
the money.
We all got bills, fam.
Fuck up, fam, yeah. But he was like how only like rappers, social media influencers and like them man talk about money as in like you like they sell a lifestyle. Does that make sense? So technically they're talking about money. Like it's like they kind of when you not English. When you're selling a lifestyle to someone on Instagram, yeah, and it's like a very lavish lifestyle, you're talking about money. That's basically what he was trying to allude to. Yeah,
people that have money will talk about money. Of course they would.
exactly. Yeah.
I don't have
was-
money and I talk about money.
So he was saying how amongst your friends, yeah, how much do you actually talk about money? I.e., do you ask your friends how much they're saving, or do you tell your friends like, I'm saving this much and I'm doing this, blah blah blah. This is how much money I'm earning a month, and this is how much I'm in debt. And he was like, this is so interesting. He goes, what a lot of young people don't realize, especially young people within their 20s, so anything between like sort of 18 up to 29 and 30, he was like, they don't realize how it's very, very normal to have a couple credit cards or to have a really shit credit score and stuff like that. He goes, it is normal. He goes, don't think you're the only one. And he goes, that's the problem that he sort of realized as he's like sort of working with a lot more sort of younger clientele. He was like, a lot of them are worried because they think, oh, like my friends are like got bare savings and I don't have shit, and I've got like 3 credit cards and I'm not paying back all the money, blah blah blah. And like he was like, a lot of, when it comes to like debt and shit like that, he goes, a lot of people feel a lot of shame, not realizing actually the vast majority of young people in their 20s,
if you got savings,
you know,
then you're the weird one. If you're not in £40,000 debt, then you're the weird one.
You're that. He goes, it's very common, you know, them ones. And I think that's so interesting. Like, you wouldn't really know if someone's sort of struggling with money unless you actually spoke about things. And would it really make an impact if you had a conversation about money, a very honest conversation about money? Me and Reem had another honest conversation about money once, and I was shook to even tell her like my situation, and she was like, "You're not gonna lie," but it was mad. You just didn't even cut it out.
No, it's
Because
calm.
you're better looking at me like I'm mad.
No. I was just remember that I was actually, we found out I was worse off than you.
No, I think now I'm worse off than you.
No, trust me. I didn't tell you details, but believe me, there was one thing I held back.
No. My credit score is shit, boy.
My credit score is good because I'm in so much debt, but I pay it back every month.
It's peak. You know when you have to deep like uni shit.
I don't think you think I'm thinking about my student loan.
Sana moved to a different country to run away from her student loans.
Last month they took out £160 from me. It banned.
100 what?
£160, and my pension was £160. Imagine that. £320
Sorry, man.
taken. I can't do maths. £320 taken out for what reason? Anyway, I disagree with him.
That young people don't talk about money.
Yeah, I think lots of people talk about money. I feel like, and maybe it's a male thing. I'm not saying anything, but I think there's a lot more pressure on men to be financially sorted before women.
Of course, yeah.
Like, so they're expected to have it all.
Yeah, he touched on this as well. He was like, how he goes, it's weird how, and he goes, it's frustrating and it's weird how men are expected to pay for like dates. And he goes, and he was like, if you do it on the first date, you're taking the girl that you're interested in on like a very lavish date to the Shard. Next time you ain't taking it to Nando's. She ain't going. Like, you know, them ones. Yeah. You're setting a standard. So he was like, it's better for you to kind of set the standard from like as if it's low.
I think the first date should always be a coffee date.
I think so.
100%.
Because then you just get to meet people.
So what were we saying about money?
I actually think that it's, well, maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I talk about money very freely. I don't care. I don't care, because the reality is that we're living in a quite hard time to be our age. Like, it's not back in the days where you could buy a 4-bedroom house for $5,000. Like,
yeah.
when I think about money right now, like £100 is nothing. $5,000 even is nothing. Like, that goes
I was
far.
thinking $1 million is even nothing, you know.
It's
like if you no, honestly, if you read it
Arab
deeper,
money,
yeah.
fam.
No. Listen. Let me be serious with you.
Nothing. Do you have $1 million?
No, because I think I was asking you guys actually the other day, if you had $1 million, what would you do with it? Right?
You realise you can't do shit. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, and I was thinking for myself, if I had $1 million, obviously the first thing I'd do is buy a house. But a house in London, like a decent sized house, that's $500,000 gone.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not a lot.
Very true. $1 million is nothing. You know them jackpots.
It really is nothing.
You know the Muppets that you see on the lottery jackpots. Oh, I want 10 million today. Like, you know that's going to be gone next month. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's peak. It's mad scary, because we're living literally from paycheck to paycheck.
Now, do you know, yesterday I was talking to one of my friends here in Sheffield, and she was like, oh, you know, we just went house shopping and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, what are you looking at? And she's like, you know, nice. No, listen, she was like, oh, you know, we're looking at a house. It's about four bedrooms, got a nice garden and stuff, but it's just so expensive.
100,000.
I was like, how much is it? And then she was like, fam, it's like 180,000. I was like, what? I was
pay for that now.
I was like, fam, I was creasing. I was like, you know, a house of what you described in London would be $500,000.
100%.
Minimum.
108,000 is literally a studio
deposit.
flat. That's
what I'm saying.
That's a deposit for a 2-bedroom house.
It's a studio apartment in Shepherd's Bush.
It's actually a joke.
West
Like,
Drayton.
the difference between house prices across the country is insane. Like, even if you go out of London, about 20, 30 minutes out. It's insane. No wonder everyone's going like, you know.
So many people are leaving London. So many people are leaving the UK.
They're just taking on the commute.
People are just done out here with this country, man. It was like, literally, it was all right. Like, it was good. There was a chance for us, and now it's like,
my
what's
commute into work was never this bad. Why are we cramped like this? Why is there so many people getting on the train like at that time? It's long, man. Before, it never used to be like this. It used to be quite
just
sparse. It used to be just me and one other brother going to Southall. Now it's everybody. It's annoying.
It's very annoying. But yeah, man. But I feel like money, I don't care. But I know that for instance, if I talk about it, my mum will always tell me off. She'll always be like, or don't share too much or whatever. And I'm like, I don't care. This is the reality. Like, people are struggling. We're not, a lot of us come from families where our families don't own their house here, so you got to kind of pave your way and figure out what to do and what to do with your family as well, you know. Them ones, it's not easy. It's not like you can just be like, yeah, I'm gonna whack you in a care home. we don't do them.
Even that's expensive.
They think it's because we love them, but it's because it's cheaper to keep them at home. Joke. No, real talk. I'll never do that.
Sana, what do you think, V?
What do I think about what? Sorry.
About, do young people talk about money, and like, do you think it's weird that we don't talk about money openly? Like, I don't know how much Sana earns.
I don't know. I feel like it's a very British thing not to talk about money.
Yeah,
agree.
Probably.
Right? Like I know in Qatar, like, people are a lot more open about talking with money. Like, if you have a discussion about salaries and stuff, they'll openly tell you.
But that's only
if it's here, it's like, not everyone there is quite open.
If I earned anything above 60k, I'm telling everyone. Everyone must know.
No, I remember my uncle asked me recently, and I was shook. I was like, oh shit, what do I say? I think I lied.
Exactly.
I brought it up a little bit.
Yeah. Would you be okay if your husband was like, want to be a house husband?
No, I want both of us to work. I think I want that instilled in my children as well. I don't want them lazy kids that don't want to work for anything.
Oh, is it? So you think I'm lazy now?
No, because you've worked. You work. No, you work every day.
I'm just trying to flip it on you because you flipped it on me before.
No, you work every day. I'm talking about those ones who are entitled, who feel like they're entitled to everything and go, yeah, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Bruv, just get up.
Oh, they don't want to.
Do you understand? No. There's a different there's
a difference between being tired from working and exhausted.
Bruv, you have a right to be. You know them ones where you go work every day. You work
I'm not even 30 yet, and I'm already tired.
No, but we all
I can only be tired when I'm in my 60s.
Bruv, because life now I think is genuinely a little bit exhausting. Yeah. Like, there's so much to keep up with. But if I have kids that come out and they're like, no, Mum, I don't want to work in Foot Locker. I just want to go college, and I'll be like, listen, you have to just start getting used to it. Like, you have to get that routine.
Do you know what's funny? Do you remember there was a time where me and Reem were going through McDonald's drive-thru, and we saw this little youth, and he must have been about 15, 16, and he was working in McDonald's.
Love that.
And then literally I looked at him, and then I was like, he's gonna be the one out of all his friends that gets his license before all his friends and gets his car first, and like, he's the one that everyone's gonna rate eventually. Right now they don't rate him because he's working at McDonald's, but he doesn't give a
straight
fuck.
up.
He's earning his P's. I got my first job when I was 16.
Yeah, straight. I think it's important to put in that ethic, like, and it's your decision what you do when you're a full-grown adult and when you're not dependent on a parent anymore. But I think it's not fair for parents to have to raise their kids until they're 25, 30. I just don't. Like, obviously, different circumstances, I'm not disputing that. But in terms of, like, if I look at myself and I think I'm fully capable of working full-time, of doing my thing where I don't have to take any money off my parents and stuff, cool. I just think I think a lot of parents just deserve that. Like, they've worked so hard for you, paid for everything for you, and then the least you can do is just at least be okay in yourself. Like, you don't have to sort them out. But most parents don't even want that. They just want to know that you're okay, that when it's their time or whatever, you're good, you know?
Do you know what I think is mad? You know, I just feel like you know, when you see I don't know any 26-year-old who is on 30k at least, yeah, not even like any 25-year-old that's on 30k at least and is able to live in like a 1-bedroom apartment in London.
No,
impossible. Like, living standards are just so disgusting now. I remember growing
really
up, like, young people used to move at their house when they were like 17, 18 and be all right, and like, now we just can't do that anymore. There's just you're crippled by it.
You're trapped in it.
You're trapped at home. Like, you've got like people in like their mid-30s still living at home with their family because they just can't afford to move out. And like, you have to have 2 incomes, and like not everyone's in a relationship, so it's long, or not everyone wants to be in shared accommodation and like live with other people, so it's difficult. Bro, I might just move to like a different city.
I think a lot of people are going for that.
Yeah.
And also London's living like the whole thing, like the whole vibe and everything right now in London is not nice.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
not nice. You're rude. Sorry. Reem's bed picking her nose. I feel like I can't make eye contact with her.
Shh, don't listen to music. I'm not picking my nose. I was moving my hand up my face.
Do you know what? Reem has a nose piercing yet, and I didn't clock it until maybe a month ago.
And she was like, "Oh my god, you got your nose piercing in today." I was like, "I have it in every day."
I didn't know.
So what are we? So what are we doing Sunday?
Yeah. I pushed out a tweet, and people are just tweeting. You know what? Ever since I got verified on Twitter, I've been active. Normally, I'm not really active, on Twitter. Got verified.
I'm famous Asha every day.
Come on now, don't be silly. I want to take up my job on my Instagram bios from now on, because I've always been so good about separating work and like me as a blogger. So then there's never been any parallels and never been any problems with it, because it's very clear how I project myself on social media and so I feel like maybe I need to get a separate Instagram or like a separate Twitter, where I just tweet as a journalist.
Yeah.
But then I can't be verified because then there's 2 pages. But I just feel like I just can't be asked. Man. Because it's long. It's very long. I don't want people to know. Do you know when I got my job at the BBC, no one knew until maybe like a year after?
I think there's a good thing about protecting your stuff like that, like your job title, not title, but like your workplace and stuff.
No one
I think
knew.
it's important.
No one knew that I was at the BBC for like a year or so.
I agree with that.
No one needs to know. I think it's just too much. We overshare anyways.
I think so as well.
We overshare so much. What was it that happened the other day? I was on basically this morning. I said the other day, but it's actually just this morning. I was looking for fake tan, because I watched a video that Jackie Aina did. She's a black blogger in America, and she basically used fake tan, and it gave her like this glow, like this bronzy glow. And she was like, because when I go on holiday and I get darker, I come back looking ashy. Like I don't look glowy, So then she was like, sometimes I can look glowy, sometimes I can look a bit ashy. Like when I came up from Doha, I looked blue. That's how dark I became, So then when she was using that fake tan, it just evens out your skin tone, because it just made her skin a bit more like bronzy, if that makes sense. So I was looking for like I was just researching fake tans and shit, and I came across this video, and this woman was demonstrating the same fake tan that Jackie Aina was using on another model, and she was like, she was super pale. She goes, I'm from Ireland and I'm super pale. Let's go to someone who's got a darker complexion. And I was like, oh, finally they're going to do because Jackie Aina is the only one that's done a review of that brand. So I was so keen to see how it looks on other dark skins, even though Jackie Aina is my skin tone. So when the camera panned out to this dark skinned person, it was literally Reem. And I had to laugh. So I was like, let me go to the comments. So I went to the comments, and the first one that I read was someone said, oh, remember the good old days where people could talk about tanning without being accused of doing blackface. I was like,
I'm confused. What?
And it just made me realize like how dumb people are. So after I clicked on that one, I don't know, for some reason it came up on my recommended. It was Katie Hopkins interviewing Tommy Robinson.
For crying out loud!
I was reading the comments, and people are actually like, "Oh, I feel so sorry for the lad. Like he's doing such a good job." People genuinely believe, and I thought, he has no supporters, man. It must be trolls. Like he must have bear accounts that he's managing on his ones to support him. People genuinely support these people. People are actually dumb. I think I was just been so naive to it. I was like, maybe it's because
you roll in different circles.
That's what I'm saying. It's because my immediate circle, my immediate
and even the wider one,
it's like everyone thinks on the same level.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's a racist. Tommy Robinson's a racist.
Idiot.
Katie Hopkins a racist. Boris Johnson's a racist. All them man, they're racist. Yeah. Then you have a section of like people who genuinely think that white supremacy doesn't exist. Shit like that, where it's just like, what? Like, no one's talking about the shooting that happened in Norway in a mosque. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one's talking about it. Why? Because maybe people didn't die. I don't know. It's sad, but yeah. Sorry, guys. I just felt like I had to just say that real quick.
No, I feel you. I get like that sometimes. It shocks
you?
me because I remember when the Brexit vote happened, and I was like, no, surely like we'll all be on the same boat. And then I saw it, and I was like, literally, and I was like, of course. Even with Trump, and I said to my mum, I remember her saying like, surely no. She goes, Hillary Clinton will win. I was like, Mum, you know the majority, what the majority of America looks like, and she was like, yeah, but. And I was like, no, literally the majority. And I remembered that here it's like I'm in a London bubble, like nowhere in the UK, like obviously places like Manchester and Birmingham and a little bit of Liverpool. Certain areas are like a bit more mixed and stuff, but the majority, like London is not the majority of the country. You know them ones, like what are we, 60 million? London's 8 million.
Mad.
We're done out here. Like we're actually done.
Oh, it's long.
So did you see that thing? So basically on Instagram today, I sent this picture, this like, did I show you this? Did you see this?
No, go on.
Okay, I beg you read it. So basically the Slumflower had tweeted something. I don't know her. I don't know anything about her, whatever. But she posted something, and on my life, till now, I cannot understand. I've read it over 7 times.
Should I read it?
Try read it and understand what she's saying, because I am still confused.
Dating apps really aren't the place to be doing social justice, you guys. The theoretical stuff is cute for Twitter and the round table, but when it comes to applying steps that bring you success, you need to put your wins for. Dating apps really aren't the place to be doing social justice, you guys. The theoretical stuff is key for Twitter and the round table, but when it comes to applying steps that in turn bring your success, you need to put your wins first. Your life is more than feminist theory, okay? Anyway, if you're a feminist and don't like being told that you need to present a version of yourself on dating apps that communicates, I have high standards and I deserve to be treated well, best of luck, or get used to only being asked to go to tap water dates and park dates. Theory is only 100% applicable on the internet. We all know that real life equals real nuisance. And there isn't a person on this planet whose life is 100% parallel
nuisance
with
or
their
nuance.
Nuance.
Or
Sorry,
nuance.
I can't read.
No, babe.
I'm dyslexic.
No, it's not even just that. I was baffled.
Nuance. And there isn't a person on this planet whose life is 100% parallel with their theories. Only you will have to live with all your decisions. So don't forget to make room for your joy. What else is she saying? What some women think communicates high standards really communicates insecurity and desperation, and they know it. Broads out there throwing it in the bag and getting straight abused. Time out. They got high standards. Are those standards holistic, or are you just broke? That's actually so mad. We all told you that we all told you that this new wave of beautiful, desirable women teaching you how to attract wealthy men had nothing to do with feminism and was just patriarchy remix, but y'all won't listen.
Can you explain that to me? Because
yeah, and someone tweeted back saying Slumflower just want to sell her book. She doesn't care about any y'all's well-being. Move accordingly.
But can you explain what is happening? She's opened up the comments, folks. This is what's going on.
Sorry. I didn't actually understand what's going on. I'm going to just read it one more time. Go on, Reem, while you explain it.
Yeah, no, I have no idea till now. I literally sent it and I said to Sana and Shambak, I said, does anyone understand what's going on? Sana said, no idea. I literally read it over and over again because I feel like I want to understand the point. I'm not going in with any judgment other than confusion. Like, I just want to understand what is being said, what kind of led to this. And yeah, I just feel like, huh? So if anyone understands it, if Asha doesn't understand it by the end of this thing, someone please explain. Truly confused.
So woman it.
I mean, I think I understand the thing that she's saying about like theory doesn't run parallel with whatever she said. Like, I understand that it's true. We can have theories and we're not necessarily always practicing what we believe and believe what we believe and what we like to practice.
So what is she saying? She's
Babe,
saying,
I don't know.
Is she saying? I actually don't get what she's saying. She's saying don't have high standards.
I don't know what she's saying. Is she saying that you should have dating apps and you can be a feminist
on Twitter,
but you can have you can have high expectations of where you're going to go out and stuff, and how you portray yourself is that of a woman with high expectations of the man that she's going to be dating? Like, what is going on?
I actually don't understand what she's been tweeting.
No, me neither.
It's not making sense to me. Like, actually not making sense to
Yeah,
me.
me too.
It's going through one ear and out the other. I just don't get it.
So if anyone can explain it to me, then I would like to. I just want to know. Like, there's nothing that I want out of it. I would just like to understand.
But people have been saying that Slumflower is like detrimental to society.
Why?
Not society, but just like women in general. Like,
why?
Like, she's reckless with what she says. Like, a lot of people criticize Slumflower and say actually she's wrong on a lot of things.
But I feel like a lot of people are, and they just do it, and that's the way to get kind of like noticed.
Yeah, maybe,
or attention,
or she just has a different view of life.
Yeah,
depending on her experiences,
and that's her truth, isn't it?
That's her truth. So if you don't think it's true, or if you don't agree with that, you clearly haven't experienced shit that she's experienced to get to that level. Say alhamdulillah, innit? Like, I think a lot of people think that she hates men. I don't follow her to know what she's about, or I unfollowed her, so I don't know. There's a lot of people that I want to unfollow, to be honest, because I just feel like you're just talking trash.
What stops you from doing it?
From what?
Unfollowing people.
I'm not on Twitter that often to remember to unfollow people.
Oh right, you're not talking about Instagram. You're just talking about Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter is a very interesting place for me because I feel like I'm more on Instagram and YouTube, anyways. That's where I get the majority of my shit. If I'm on Twitter, it's because of work. Not because I'm on there as like personally to tweet about shit and to talk about and to air my opinions. You won't really catch me like that. It's only since I got verified, I'm telling you, that I'm starting to tweet more often because I'm trying to throw around this badge everywhere. You know the ones, yeah. But yeah, I'm just not on it. I hate Twitter. I hate how people are on Twitter. I think it's vile. I think a lot of people are very toxic.
That's what made me delete it years ago.
People do so much for clout. People will sell their own mothers for clout.
Do you see that guy who like months ago kissed his sister?
Apparently that's his like stepsister. Like,
I don't know. That's still weird.
People are just weird. I think the internet is just the internet. Like I just remember when I just wanted to go back to being. Do you remember that game that everyone used? Do you remember that game that everyone used to play? It was like helicopter. And you got to click your mouse to keep it afloat. That's what I want the internet to go back to.
Or that thing where you have to like not click on the bomb or whatever.
Them ones. I just want life to be, you know, when it was like just teletext and shit. Like
teletext.
I miss like them old days where things were
simple
very,
times.
Like, things were a bit more simple, and people. I think the problem with social media is like it's such an incredible platform, and it can do absolute wonders for your life. Case in point, Alex from Glastonbury. Social media can literally propel you to new levels that it can open up so many doors for you. There was a producer that like a couple of weeks ago that did one tune and now he's working with fucking Meek Mills. Yeah. Just because of social media, just because of Twitter. So it has a huge impact on people's lives. But at the same time, I think because it's such an easy way to gain fame, it's like a lot of people, so people don't respect a lot of people who've managed to get fame on, like say for example, do you remember Chipmunk? He calls himself Chip now, innit? Just Chip. He must have come for the guy that sang that song, my yay is different to your yay, yeah, ages ago. And he must have said it's frustrating. And the thing is, I hear where he's coming from. He must have said that it's frustrating to see people like that gain instant fame and instant success when you know people who are 10 times more talented than them, who have been struggling for the past 5-10 years. You know them ones. So I hear that. So anyway, so then I think because the internet has given us accessibility to fame and success and money in a very fast way, fast success, a lot of people are doing whatever they can to achieve the same thing, if not more. But they don't realize that actually the people who have internet clout are probably just depressed because they have to keep up appearances.
And also the thing about those like one-hit wondery people is it dies down. Like it just dies down. So where is that guy? Bless him. I saw a video.
Why are you coming fast?
Yeah, exactly. I saw a video that an interview he did with ZZ Mills, and he's bare weird. He was like so cold and like didn't know how. Did you see it? Like he couldn't crack a joke. He couldn't receive anything. And I just thought
he got interviewed on like by Reese Parkinson like ages ago when he had a bit of clout. And even from then I knew he was a dickhead.
He was just bare like why you're not ready for this life? Like you're not even. I don't know, man. It was just very strange. It was weird. It was one of the weirdest interviews I watched.
Speaking of interviews, who was that? What was that interview again that you sent us in the group chat? Go on.
And no one's watched it yet.
I watched the whole thing from the beginning to the end. I was shocked.
Wait, so what were you talking about?
Was it Poet's Corner that walked out of the interview?
Hey, that one.
Bare people talking about it on Twitter. Like he's not okay.
He's not. I didn't finish it actually, but I watched it at the beginning and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I laughed.
Yeah, same.
I found it funny. I thought, wow, why is he hyping so much? And what I like is how Poet kind of handled it.
Do you?
Yeah, like as in he just
got vexed in the end for no reason.
Well,
Like,
I didn't
put
watch
himself in that position.
I put myself. I watched maybe 15 minutes of it or 10 minutes into it, and so I can't judge the whole thing.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that guy, bless him, he's in need of some real therapeutic intervention.
100%.
Because the way his mind, the way he flips like that is concerning.
Yeah, but also Pebble as like, if you're going to be, I guess they're not journalists and they don't have to abide by journalistic standards, but if you're interviewing people, the basic rule is never to involve yourself personally. And he low-key did. He was just kind of like, he got upset because obviously who was the guy that is interviewing again? African child. He is obviously like the kind of childish. So he's obviously the kind of guy that says controversial shit to piss you off and to push your buttons and shit. And he completely fell into his trap. Yeah. And he got rattled by him and ended up having to leave the interview because he wasn't comfortable interviewing with someone who didn't meet his morals and like someone who went against them and shit like that, which is fine. But I think if you're going to interview someone that you know is like that, be prepared for that mentally, 100%. Physically, everything. So there's no need to be moving like you can't be in this. Why can't you be on the same set as someone that just because you think they're wrong? Like it's weird to me, but interesting nonetheless. Anyways.
Yeah, I just thought it was, and a lot of people when I looked through comments later were all kind of saying like how
Poet.
No, just how concerned they were for his well-being. Like people, like obviously when you first watch it, you're like, just bare dumb. Then you start watching and you're like, hold on a second, this guy cannot address anything. Like certain things he was saying, like when he was, sorry, it's not funny, but when he was like, you weren't with me in jail, and he was like, yeah, like I know, like obviously there's some really unaddressed issues.
It's like you know, like when people normally think about things, yeah, they go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, yeah, point done. He goes A, D, B, F, G, Q, Y, X, Z. You know the ones where it's just he struggles to think. Like, he begins there, but the logic isn't involved, which makes you realize if someone can't have a cohesive flow of thought and like that actually makes sense, there's something wrong with them. They're suffering from something. It's a cry for help. I think people don't realize, like, if someone's on social media talking recklessly like that, don't you think that maybe that's a call for help a little bit? Don't you think instead of like judging him and saying that's him for face value, because no one's discussing that, like, no one's raised.
Speaking of cries for help, Rams, is that his name?
Yeah, the guy that sang the song
Barking.
Yeah,
Ramon Rochester.
So
so he basically has kind of opened up a lot about things and shared some things which have had a lot of people concerned on social media, like friends and family. And I think recently he's posted just again thanking everyone and showing his appreciation and stuff. But I think I really do admire him because he was like online, people were just going at him from time. Like Barking was like a blessing and a curse for him. And I think I just really, really respect how he's dealing with things, even though it's a lot of people would deal with things differently. But I think I really appreciate how he's been open about what he's dealing with, and in one way he opened up himself to receive a lot of support from people, and I think that's really beautiful. Like he's not just completely gone off to himself or felt like the feelings are stronger than, you know, people's support.
And I think what's interesting now is like, there's even if he does go, you know, like the ones where even if someone tries to talk to you and be like, I hate where you're coming from, I get it, like no one actually does, because you've never been cyberbullied on social media by that many people over a song. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Over your passion. So it's difficult for anyone to even, when you know that it's difficult for anyone to even sympathize with your situation or understand where you're coming from, or even how you feel, and you feel like you're the only one that's experiencing this, it makes it so much harder. So I feel like a couple months ago he posted a picture of someone committing suicide, of like a noose or something, and that's what got everyone shook, and his family ended up deleting all of his pictures and like just saying like he's okay, he's fine, he's got the help that he needs. Like, but it's like, why does it have to come to that for people to realize that your words really do have an impact? Everyone's been screaming it. Do you know what I mean? With the whole of 2019 has been about mental health. Everyone's been raising so much awareness about it. and yet it comes for someone to have to harm themselves or have to kill themselves for you to be like, do you know what, shit, maybe we shouldn't talk about this, maybe we should be careful with our words on social media. Nah, man, you weren't raised like that. I know for a fact, you know, there's people that are just moving recklessly on Twitter. The vast majority of you, if your tweets got read out to your parents, they'll be so disappointed in you because they never raised you like that. But yet you're moving recklessly behind an anonymous account. Like, do you know what I mean? And like,
it's very strange when you think about it. Like, what is
bizarre.
that?
And even like, I hate to be that guy and take everyone to madrasa, but even just think about it from like a deen perspective. Yeah, you don't think that tweets and shit like that and captions and whatever and like comments on Instagram and blah 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 and like reshares of like rude comments, like horrible bullying comments, you don't think that you won't be asked about them on the day of judgment? Like, God knows, because you never know how much your words can impact someone.
100%.
Maybe it could be you will never know this, but maybe if someone has committed suicide because of cyberbullying, you don't know if it was your tweet that really sent them off the edge. Do you know what I mean? You don't know if it was yours.
I do think there's a part of it which is intention though as well.
What do you
like
mean?
As in, because we can't live life without like there's no human who's perfect or who doesn't upset people or anything like that. So I think like intention is everything. Like if your intention is to piss someone off or hurt someone's feeling or whatever, then it's one thing, but you know, like unintentionally we all do things that might hurt people.
But if you're writing negative comments on social media,
no,
there's
that's
only one intention.
yeah 100%. I'm saying, but there are some things that you might say to someone and you might have good kind of
of course. I think that's we're not talking about that. I think what I'm referencing is like people
maliciously
malicious comments like go kill yourself or like
that just confused me because it's like, why
so often.
Like
that's
Molly May getting death threats.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I'm baffled. I don't understand why people get death threats.
I think there's like a rhetoric and like level of banter that exists only on Twitter that not a lot of people get. So like even that whole good day, like, you know, them ones where it's become so normalized as like a bit of banter, but actually it's disgusting. It's actually horrible. This is what I just fucking hate Twitter, man. Someone's gonna delete my account today. Joking. Follow me on Twitter. Asha every day, been verified.
By the way, Sana's really quiet because I think she's on the phone to her mum, so that's why we're not just like speaking over her.
Yeah.
But on that note, I want to just big up at Threes a Social because they've posted a podcast recently and they've got an ex-football player talking and opening up, really being really vulnerable about his depression and mental health and stuff. And I think there's a lot to to take from that, and especially as a man to be able to share all of that is really powerful. So I just think I sent it to Asha and Sana, so they haven't listened to it yet, but I would highly recommend it. If people always ask what we recommend, and that is for sure something that is in my opinion just wicked piece of work. And he's sharing how he's like a work in progress as well, which is nice to see, because sometimes we only see and hear people's stories when they're at the other end of it, and it's nice to hear something when someone's slap bang in the middle and managed to be okay with where they're at. I think that's quite a powerful thing. So yeah, at Threes a Social, 3 the number.
We'll also put the link in the description box.
We always say that, but
YouTube.
do we ever?
Sana's in charge of that. I just put in the caption.
I don't do anything.
And the title. No, you do shit. You do the most.
I don't.
You maintain the social media engagement. Are you mad? That's one of the biggest jobs.
It's all Asha Everyday's followers.
No, it's not.
No, but what? So should we do our meet? So we're potentially doing our meet and greet. Meet and greet sounds weird. I don't want to call it that. We're doing our meet up.
Link up.
Possibly on Sunday, the 19th. No, 18th. So we'll let you know.
So here's what we're doing, Jan. Go and follow our Instagram at £3.30 on Instagram, and we'll make an announcement tomorrow when this podcast goes up. On Wednesday. That's too early and that's too late.
That's bare late.
Okay, so we'll make an announcement on.
We would have made the announcement by now.
No, we're gonna make the announcement every single day.
Okay, cool.
Every single day leading up to Sunday.
Yeah.
For the link up. If you're interested to come true. If you're not, don't worry. Next time. Inshallah. It would literally just be a link up in the park, and everyone's gonna get Subway and just chill.
Obviously, I wish I could buy everyone food and drinks, but it's every man for themselves. FYI,
someone someone said, let's go to airport bowls, fam.
We're just free PT.
Do you know how much of a shumbuck us three are, yeah? We literally went to drop off Sana last time she came here at the airport. Why do we pass by airport bowls so we can hit up the arcade just before? We're so dumb. Like we love living life.
Anyway, guys.
And on that note, guys, thank you so much for listening. We've obviously enjoyed talking to you, and we hope you guys have enjoyed listening. If you want to keep up with us, we are on the podcast app. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. Just search £3.30 and you'll find us.
Hey.
Basically, anywhere you listen to podcasts, we'll be there except for SoundCloud, and it's so SoundCloud. Also, keep up with us on Instagram at £3.30. If you're looking for me, Asha every day. If you're looking for Sana, Saracino. Obviously, the links will be in the description box below if you're listening on YouTube. And we love you guys.
Thanks again for all of your love and appreciation and patience, because no one's been mean with us, considering we've been kind of
slacking.
So.
All right, bye guys.
Bye. That's Sana.
Bye.